Welcome back to the Hunt and Harvest podcast. It's Greer White. I don't even know what episode this is. It's been a minute. Hopefully we can get this podcast done before the sun comes up over my head and ruins the shot. But for those of you listening, I really appreciate you. We actually had a podcast do over 700 views on YouTube, which was, sorry, I just cut the camera off for a second, which was crazy and incredible view count for me on a podcast. My most viewed video long form on YouTube is almost at 3K, and at the time of this podcast, we are at 8. Why am I bad at showing things? 8,573 subscribers on YouTube. Spotify, I have no idea. It's probably hasn't moved an inch for the podcast, but that's, I post other long form and short form videos. I'm trying to get better at that. But today's podcast is about abundance versus scarcity. A good friend of mine has been talking about this a lot. His name's Crew Mahoney. He does a podcast that does really well. He's got a YouTube channel doing really well. He's motivated me. He's my best friend. He's inspired me, I'd say. Motivated is not really the word I guess I should use, because motivation just falters. But like the inspiration to be consistent and do things like this, he's a good example of that. He's one of the most consistent guys I have ever met. And I'm obviously not that consistent. It's been a month since I've done a podcast. I'd like to upload 2 videos, long form every week, a podcast, and, one documenting my life as a peach farmer, 25-year-old peach farmer. And I got big plans and I'm trying to make it happen. But remember, this podcast is about abundance versus scarcity. So, there is no need for me to feel fearful or worried. Just keep jumping back on the horse, ride as long as you can, I've got some serious points I want to get to, but I do want to discuss a couple of things about the podcast real quick. And that is, this podcast, Hunt and Harvest, was originally titled and thought of as a podcast where I could go and tour farms, show what's going on my farm, meet farmers, see their operations, and sit down and do a podcast with them and do a long form video with them. Excuse me. I will be doing that. I have done that with one of my good friends. I've got 2 farmers that I should be getting together with in September of 2026, peach farmers that have been supplying me for my farm stand this year and helping me learn. I've got one of them's the president of the North Carolina Peach Growers Association. Another is, a father. Well, they're both father-son operations, multi-generation farms, but they're so cool, and I cannot wait to do those podcasts. So make sure you subscribe, because you're not going to want to miss those podcasts. They're going to be elite. And you're going to want to see the long form videos even more, because the one I did with Ben Bird, Hunt and Harvest, if you go to the playlist of the podcast and the series, you'll see that the series has Ben's the second episode, his pecan farm. That was so fun. And I just followed him around doing labor with the tripod and the Osmo and the GoPro. We literally spent 10 hours harvesting pecans. I'll probably go do it again this fall. It was a really good video. You should check that out. And I'm so excited to do the interview with these 2 peach farmers and to do the long form video, do some harvesting with them. And yeah, I've just been a little occupied with the farm stand of late. Any of you have been watching, following along, I really am grateful. And, I got to go into the abundance versus scarcity mindset thing. I mentioned the subscriber count as well at the beginning of this pod, because I feel this is where the mindset for a lot of YouTubers or podcaster, I don't know a bunch of them, but I know of some of them, and I see their past and where they started, how old they are, and they're even the Mr. Beast, 10 years from the future, hey me, hope I'm still alive, hope you're still doing YouTube. Those are crazy. I kind of want to make a video like that. I feel even for the guys that are huge, like Beast and Speed and all these people, they posted those things years ago, it's like a sticking point. 8,000, 10,000, somewhere around that range is a humongous sticking point or stopping point, I guess I should say. It's a tipping point. Am I going to keep going? Maybe those points aren't the right points. Somebody out there knows what I'm trying to say. It's like, am I going to keep going and stay consistent, or am I just going to drop off and stop? This is like that time, and I am not going to stop. I love doing this. I want to get better at it. The reason I've been a little less posty recently is because of the new adventure of selling my own fruit. Well, some of my own fruit, really, not really any of mine this year. But opening my farm stand, selling peaches, selling eggs, selling the coffee, trying to get the honey going. Got a new hive, probably going to get 10 to 20 more hives already established, which will be a real huge jump in time. Farming, you don't often get to do a jump in time. It's usually, okay, I'm going to start and I won't see a return for years, like the peaches. Tree fruit is a lot like that. Nut crops are a lot like that. And chickens too. With the abundance versus scarcity thing, you have to think about that, or that is a play in your mindset full time when you're farming, because I do not have, you're trying to get from point A to point B with I've just planted the tree, I'd love to sell some fruit, and you got 50 chickens, I want to sell some eggs. I need a bunch of eggs. I want all these chickens. I want all these eggs. Literally applicable to my life right now. I had 52 chickens, including 3 roosters. I think somewhere around there. 2 geese, and I have a couple of coops and a run and all this stuff I worked hard on, and it's not completely fortified because I now have 15 females, 2 males, and 2 geese. That's terrible. I've got more chicks coming. Should be able to get them ready to roll by winter, but that was the problem, man. It's all my fault. I neglected their safety. I neglected their safety and was focused on a bunch of other things, whatever excuse you want to enter, but it's sad because that was like my chicken army, and you can't let it get to you. You just have to actually change and do better, which I wasn't. This summer, I've been so focused on, escaping the wage cage and then, having left the wage cage like at the end of spring, and doing this farm stand thing. It's not a real good excuse, but I'm gonna fix it. And you can just order more chickens. We live in an amazing time where we're not necessarily gonna starve this winter because of my mistakes. Had we been under threat of starvation, I'd probably take it a lot more seriously. And I really need to think of it that way, but also not. Because if I think of it in, we're going to starve if I don't, then that's scarcity. But there's a line to be walked there. And I think that the mindset is really important to have, because the abundance gives you or removes the fear. And God says the only fear you should have is of Him. In the Bible, it is very clear that the fears and materials of this world they're not real. I mean, they're tangible and real now, but it doesn't last. Your only real fear should be of the Father, and you need to remember that. It's really helped me a lot lately because, I've spent a ton of money lately and had a bunch of things change. Some good, mostly good. There's some things, but it's just, you have to give it all you got, even though it all disappears. And the cool thing about the mindset, I got to remember to look straight at the camera. The cool thing about the abundance mindset is that there's no fear. It's gone. Yeah, I let my chickens die. Yeah, I have all these problems. Yeah, I spent all this money. But I'll just do better. There is no fear to be had. And my wife's pulling up from work. There's just no fear to be had at all. The sun is hitting my back. Dang it, Duke. You probably can't hear him that well because of the mic. But there is no fear to be had. Apologize. I'm apologizing right now if there's any interruption. My wife is pulling up from work. She is a night shift nurse. But there's just not really any fear to be had, and it's been a really lift. It's lifted me. It's been a big lift off my shoulders. The fear I've had about making money and doing things and succeeding has been lifted. And yeah, there's always the threat of, how am I going to eat? How am I going to pay rent? How am I going to do all this? How am I going to make the farm work? How am I going to not lose all my money on all the things that I've spent so much time and effort and money, literally years and money on? How am I going to get through these next ideas I have to actually scale the thing that's making me money? What's next? What happens if this part of the business, this piece that is crucial, fails? The fear just has to be gone, because no matter what, I'm just going to make it work. God's given me all the gifts and all the opportunity to make it work. It is up to me and my willpower to decide, am I going to think scarcely about this and think, oh, if this is gone, it's toast, I'm over, it's done? Or am I going to think abundantly and persevere and prevail no matter the outcome, no matter the thing that disappears or blows up in my face or costs me a bunch of money? I'm just going to recalculate and reapply myself and jump right back on the horse. And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face, and I'm going to do it without fear. And there's going to be a whole lot less loss of time, stress, worry, concern. It's just the fear being gone has changed everything. And if you even take a minute to think in the future, about what you want in life, and you know that you're the kind of person that can do this, that can make it happen, even if things are against you. I mean, you know that it's really just up to you. It could all blow up right now in your face, and it's still up to you to make it happen. All the problems are just in your head. I mean, yeah, they're real and they affect me in this life right now, but I'm going to persevere. So therefore, why am I acting all scared and stressed? Just wasting my energy that could be applied to solving it. One of my old coworkers from Couch Oil, before I quit my job, he's from Venezuela, really great guy. And his name's Paul. He's hilarious. He works really, really hard. He's good at a lot of things. And he'd always tell me about these people that he'd work with, or people that we were working with. And he'd be like, we'd have this problem at work, setting this tank or piping up a generator or running a line or whatever problem that was appearing to us in the day, and we got one coworker over here just tweaking, or this coworker's doing a job, he needs our help because he's just tweaking over literally nothing. He's tweaking. We've got a problem, right? I say nothing. There is a problem. And he's not thinking about the solution at all. He is straight up blown away at this problem and letting it win. You should be thinking about, and Paul's always like, he's Venezuelan, so his English is hilarious and terrible. He's like, don't think about the problem. No problem, just think of solution. You go now. You have problem, you go solution. Problem, solution. You start thinking solution now, problem go away. He had a better way of saying it, but I mean, it's just funny when he talked, because he's not very good at English. He actually was better at English when he started, and now he's worse. It's funny how he's thinking in two different languages, he tells me. But I got to remember to look at this freaking barrel of the camera. Hello. Yeah, but I've gotten to do a lot of really cool things lately. Open a farm stand. It's a broken tent and a table. Posting on social media. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Holy moly. hit my first 1,000 viewed video, almost at 3,000. I know it was an insane, I paid for that video to be edited, so it's amazing. Thumbnail has a girl in it, my wife, and I attached a related video. I attached it as a related video to one of my reels that did like 1 million plus on YouTube Shorts, so that makes sense. But still really cool. And like getting to sell these peaches and do this thing and quit my job, the worry of how am I going to make money when peach season's over? You know, what about the months between January and April? You know, all this money I'm spending. I mean, it's a concern, but whatever. I'm just going to make it work, you know? I will literally figure it out. I have an opportunity to go back to my job, probably, to do some winter work like contract and stuff. And I haven't ruled it out or burnt the bridge. I just probably won't do that. I don't want to A, disappoint them, and B, well, A, disappoint myself, B, disappoint them, because I love them. They're great people. I just don't have any interest in going back on what I said I'd do, which was quit. You know, like, it's a dangerous job. You're driving a bomb around, propane. You know, I mean, you could go through your whole life and have no issues, and you also could have a wreck and blow up or flip over. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do that anywhere, I guess. You know, those are always threats, but it's a highly increased threat there. And not really concerned about that as much. I just don't. That feels scarcity. That echoes scarcity mindset to think, oh yeah, you know, they want me to come back. I'll have less to do from Christmas until May, realistically, late April, early May. I'll have less to sell, less to do, you know, money-making wise. Because a lot of my stuff right now that I do that allows me to make any money is growing season related. You know, I get pennies from the Facebook and nothing really at all from YouTube yet. Be nice. I got a lot of goals for increasing my business and you know, scaling the part that is working. And I want to get more land. And, you know, land in this area is insanely highly priced. Farmland is like, at best, 10.5 an acre, and that's way out. That's much further from town. And sorry, my dad just texted me. I'm probably gonna. I shouldn't have had my phone on, and he was telling me about not posting the drowning video of the raccoon. And I'm probably going to post it anyway because it's a scarcity mindset thing. Because I had a chicken thief. You know, I've got multiple chicken thieves. That's why you don't have your phone on when you're doing a pod, because it messes up your train of thought. What was I saying? The scarcity mindset of the job. You know, I've got all these things that I want to do to my business to scale, to make it better, and I know I can do them. There is no true concern. I know I'll make it work. Just got to budget well and live frugally and figure it out, you know? And I want the YouTube to work out so well, so I need to put 1,000, 10,000 more hours in it personally before I even think about hiring some help. And I love this. The stock in YouTube is valuable. You know, the stock is pretty cheap right now. It's just time and imagination. It's not free, you know, but it is worth it. And I don't want to operate out of scarcity. So if this video speaks to you at all about operating out of abundance versus scarcity, you know, like, just know that spending your time in fear, like my dad saying, don't post this video about the raccoon that we drowned this morning. Yes, I was going to put viewer discretion advised in like red blinking and like make a reel about it, probably blow up on the internet because people will be like, what's wrong with you? Or blah, 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 you know, even though he killed who knows how many of my chickens, you know. But that's the thing, like people are just going to scroll and forget. You can post anything. I could probably post myself being naked. I would never do that. But like, if the algorithm didn't take it down, it probably people would just notice, freak out, and like maybe somebody does something with it that has a bunch of free time, and they repost, and it's just gone. You know, like think you can't even remember the last terrible, heinous video you saw because you've seen 1,000 others. I hope the camera isn't too horrible on the light right now because the sun's coming up over my back. But yeah, I'm very excited to do those podcasts. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I don't know quite how long this has been, but my wife hasn't even gotten out of the car yet. I should probably make her some breakfast and get on with some tasks that I need to do today. I will, if I do post that raccoon drowning video. Yes, it's sinister. It was actually my first time drowning a raccoon. My dad usually does it. Maybe he's a chicken. He was like 20-pound raccoon, dude. This guy was massive. And we caught him right next to the chicken coop. Like, I'm totally going to post it. So, click it. If you're not sensitive to that kind of thing. I do have a sensitivity in my heart for animals. Big time. I mean, he was looking up at those eyes. I'm like, can't believe I'm killing this guy. But shooting him in the face versus drowning him, you know, like what? Drowning's easier on everybody, I think. I mean, yes, the shot would be instant death, but ammo, bullets, cleanup, like, I don't know. That dude killed all my chickens. And I had to order a bunch more. And now I have to wait months till they start laying. I mean, I have, you know, some left. But anyways, getting off topic. That's why you don't leave your phone on during the pod. You got to airplane mode that mug. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be scared of, really. I am running a business, so yeah. You don't want to operate heinously. But, you know, I think I'm doing pretty good. People are coming and then, you know, they're seeing my stuff and they're enjoying it. I'm getting more followers and stuff and everything seems to be working. I get a lot of customers. You know, I got a lot of ideas. I just know that they'll take time, but I just need to keep working hard, and so do you. So please subscribe, please like, please comment. Check out my other long form videos, and please come back and look for that podcast with the farmers. I want to do PD Orchards, Chapel Peaches, Baldwin Beef. Those are the three I'd like to do very soon, probably in that order. It's going to be so cool. I just got to find the right time. I'll probably do some more videos with Ben this fall for harvesting. So just remember, there's nothing to be fearful of except the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. Some people don't say ghost, but whatever. We're just so lucky. And also pay attention to me creating a website, because I'm probably going to be selling the coffee from El Salvador, which is so good, not bitter at all, by the pound. I'll be selling honey in person and online. So, and maybe pecans online too. The only way I'll be able to sell peaches online is probably when I get a, you know, inspection done and permit and like can jar and process peaches in white grape juice or something like that. Peach halves. And they have a shelf life, you know, a really good one once they're basically pickled. And so I'm going to have some products available for you guys to support me as a farmer and also get something amazing that is super healthy for you, potentially delivered right to your door if you do not live in Orange County, North Carolina. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. Give me 5 stars if you're seeing this on Spotify. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and comment what you think I should do for 10K subs. And just, I really appreciate each and every one of you support, because this is just, what a gift. Super fun to be here. And let me see. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. And remember, something my friend told me about, no phone dinner. He started doing this on his podcast. So if you're still here, remember, sit down in front of your meal. Could be no phone breakfast, could be no phone lunch, no phone dinner, no laptop, no music, no phone, no iPad, no technology, just you, your meal, if you're alone. And if you're with your family or your friends, sit there and all enjoy a detached meal. Be present in your moment, because it is all we have. It is all we are given, is each moment. Thank you, guys. See you next time.